They did not have a chin, so their face was more like a monkey. But they had a human shaped jaw. They had a community, which means group of individuals living in a cave looking after each other. Males got larger than females because of social stratification. Males started hunting. Females also participated, but not as much. Students, let's now look into the phases of human evolution. Earlier, we have discussed about the various agents of evolution, mechanisms of evolution, genetic frequencies and their contribution towards evolution, the various adaptive traits of various organisms. Okay, now we will look into how human beings, how the modern man, you, me, have all evolved. So, human evolution started off from an ape-like common ancestor, from which two lines separated. One formed the humans, one formed the great apes like chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, etc. Now, from the human line of evolution, the first individual which came into existence was australopithecus, the first ape man. Why ape man? Because australopithecus was the first one to deviate towards the human line of evolution from that common ape. So, the australopithecus was the first individuals, or they were the first individuals, I should say, that walked towards the human line of evolution. Okay, so they are the first ape men or ape women, as you wish. Why ape men? Because they carried some characteristic traits common to chimpanzees, gorillas, etc. Because they were derived directly from the common ancestor of apes and humans. So they had some ape-like characteristics. They existed 5 million years ago. Their fossils have been found from Tuang in Africa. Tuang is near Ethiopia, and they existed during the Pliocene period. Okay, they existed during the Pliocene period. Their brain size was 500 cc. This is important. This point is important for your examinations. Their brain size was 500 cc, and we will see that as humans evolved, the size of their brains increased. They were bipedal. They could stand upright on two legs, mostly erect because they sometimes used to walk on their knuckles like chimpanzees. Sometimes they used to stand up in an erect posture, but they were not fully erect. Whenever they stood up like apes. They hunched forward. Okay, when they stood up, they could not straighten their spine. They had a bent spine. So they were mostly erect. They were omnivores, but preferred a diet of fruits, nuts and vegetables. And they were facultative tree climbers. That means when they were faced with threats in the name of dangerous wild animals, Australopithecus were preyed upon by large carnivorous animals such as lions, leopards and other animals. Okay, even crocodiles and snakes used to prey on the Australopithecus individuals. So whenever they saw a wild animal, there were Australopithecus skulls with perforations of bite marks of large canines. Okay, like wolves and large felids like leopards and lions of Africa. So whenever they faced dangerous wild animals, they used to climb up trees. So they were facultative tree climbers. They were not habituated to an arboreal mode of life. Whenever they felt like climbing trees for to collect some fruit or to avoid dangers, they could climb up. They did not have a chin, so their face was more like a monkey. But they had a human shaped jaw. That is, the lower jaw was like ours. Lower jaw of modern man and the lower jaw of australopithecus is not that much dissimilar. And they also had pelvic bone resembling the pelvic bone of modern humans. And another ape-like feature that they have is that the brow ridges. Brow ridges is the bone underneath our eyebrows. This is our eyebrow, and the bone underneath our eyebrows is the brow ridges. So like the chimpanzees, their brow ridges were protruded over their eyes, giving an ape-like feature, and also they did not have an erect prominent nose like ours. They had a ape-like flattened nose. Okay, so they did not have a chin, had brow ridges protruding over eyes, had a flattened nose that was more like an ape or a monkey. But the human character they had is that they were bipedal and mostly erect, and they had lower jaws and pelvic bones just like modern humans. The next phase of human evolution is the Homo habilis. They are known as skillful man. Homo means man, Homo means man, and habilis means skillful. So skillful man. Okay. They lived 1.5 to 2 million years ago in East Africa. Their fossils were found in the Olduvai Gorge in Ethiopia near the Rift Valley. Okay. In East Africa, and they were Pleistocene inhabitants. They had a brain size of 700 cc. So from 500 we get 700. They were bipedal. Okay. Now Homo habilis, they were completely bipedal. So the ape-like traits are gradually getting eliminated. The human-like traits are gradually getting favored and passed on to the next generation, and they are getting evolved due to natural selection. They were omnivores, but they had teeth like modern men. Okay, teeth like modern humans. They were the first ones to have an elevated nose, not as prominent as ours, but more prominent than that of australopithecus, forming a human-like elevated nose. They had broad thumbs. Now, when we talk about thumbs, we need to talk about two adaptations that have separated apes from other mammals. Apes have a pronated wrist. That means our wrist can bend like this and can rotate like this, 360-degree. Okay, this is pronation. This ability to rotate the wrist at any angle is known as pronation. This is a character that is only found in the hominids, that is humans, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, etc. And the hominids also have another distinguishing feature that separates them from rest of the mammals. We have an opposable thumb, which means we can fold our finger like this and we can lock our fist using our thumb. That means I can grip something like this. The ability to grasp and grip things is only found in hominid individuals like humans, apes, humans and apes. Apes like chimpanzees, orangutans, gorillas, etc. So, pronated wrists and the opposable thumbs. This is known as an opposable thumb because our thumb can come up and wrap our fingers like this. Opposable thumbs. Okay. This is a landmark adaptive feature because by having pronated wrists, early humans could throw objects at other animals to scare them off, and the opposable thumbs help them to climb and grip onto objects more efficiently. And since the activity of our arms increased as we became more and more erect and bipedal, our forelimbs developed much faster. Okay, our fingers, our thumbs evolved at a faster rate. So our thumbs got broader in Homo habilis. The thumbs got broader, so they could easily grab onto things. They were the first tool makers. They made sharp objects to kill or to scare off animals or to protect themselves from pieces of wood. Okay, the first tool makers, and they were the first primitive humans to live in communities. Although they did not have a stratified community as we have of now, they had a community, which means group of individuals living in a cave, looking after each other. Looking after each other, mainly looking after the young ones. So all the individuals living in a single cave, they behaved like a family. They looked for each other, they collected food for each other, they protected each other. So they had a primitive family structure, not a stratified family structure, having a father, mother, not like that. Uh, During that time, there was random mating even. Okay, so they had a primitive family structure, but they had a community living in caves. Next phase of human evolution is marked by the appearance of Homo erectus, or the first completely erect man. Homo means man and erectus means erect man. So they were the first completely bipedal and erect men who could run and jump on their hind legs. Australopithecus and Homo habilis could not run or jump on their hind legs. If they wanted to run faster, they crawled like animals and they could not jump. If they wanted to jump, they had to get on all their fours and jump like a monkey only. But here in Homo erectus, we find that not only they could run on their 2 feet, but run pretty fast, not as fast as us, but pretty fast, faster than Homo habilis and Australopithecus, and they could jump while standing on their hind legs. They could jump maintaining a bipedal posture and an erect posture. They were the first individual organisms or the first primitive humans to have a completely erect spine. Okay. They existed 1.8 to 1.7 million years ago, that is the Middle Pleistocene period, and their fossils have been recovered from Africa, Asia, mainly China and India, and Europe, mainly in parts of Turkey, Portugal, Spain, around the Mediterranean. Okay. Now, their brain size varied from 800 cc to 1300 cc. Why this variation? Because from Homo erectus, the human lineage split into three distinct lines: the Neanderthals, the Homo sapiens fossilis, and the Homo sapiens sapiens. Okay, so 800 cc was the first Homo erectus, and when the Homo erectus evolved, forming newer lineages, their brain size increased from 800 to 1300 cc. Okay, so humans started off with a 500 cc brain. Now, already halfway through the human evolution, we are encountering 1300 cc brains. They had fully erect posture. They were omnivores, but unlike their previous two, the Homo habilis and the Australopithecus, they preferred meat over vegetables and fruits because they were hunter-gatherers. They formed communities of hunters who hunted together and provided food for the other individuals, that is the old and the young who could not hunt. So there was a society, they formed a society in which care for old and young ones existed. They had small canines. The canines reduced in size, although they preferred meat, but the canines reduced in size compared to the Australopithecus and Homo habilis because large canine teeth is an ape-like character. Excuse me. Large canine teeth are an ape-like character. Even in monkeys nowadays, you will find large canines. Okay. So, as we are progressing towards the modern humans, the ape-like characters are getting reduced. So, the canine teeth are getting reduced and the molar teeth are getting enlarged. So, larger molar teeth. They had protruding lower jaws with a broad developed chin. As I said, they could run on two legs, also jump. They had less body hair compared to Homo habilis and Australopithecus, and the evidence of first apocrine and endocrine sweat glands, just like modern men and women, were found in Homo erectus. Males got larger than females because of social stratification. Males started hunting. Females also participated, but not as much. Females were gradually starting to look after the communities, the young ones, the old ones, and defending their caves. But most of the physical labor were given by the males. So the males developed more musculature than the females, more robust bone structure, a larger skeleton than the females, and they grew larger, a trait that is still existing in our society. In general, still modern human males are slightly larger than females. Okay. They made elaborate tools, not only hunting tools, but tools to cut meat, cut skin. Okay, were made from stone and bones. They were the first one to use fire. Okay, they were the first one to use fire, and they invented cooking. Not cooking like us, they did not have culinary skills as modern humans, but they were the first humans to consume burnt flesh or roasted flesh because they used fire and they burnt the hunted meat on fire and ate it because they found that it tasted better than raw meat. And also they used to light fire around their caves to protect their community against wild animals at night.